Good afternoon to all. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we're in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. My name is Ron Narrett. I'll be your chairperson this afternoon. Introducing the panel members, Cindy Stevens to my left and Mr. Richard Whitbread to her left. Representing the city is Matthew Harling, and our recording secretary is Katie Sutherland. We'll be hearing an application for revision of the assessment rule in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested has been described in each application, and will limit discussions to those matters. The statements that the applicant or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anybody speaking in these matters must be sworn in. Please be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The board is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it, along with the city administration. We make our decisions based on the evidence provided at the hearing and issue a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decision in respect to application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to value or classification, or to Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to application for exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included in the board's order. In respects to the hearing this afternoon, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We'll then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the other applicant may have. And then will be the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each part will have the opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all evidence about the application has been brought forward, you may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket this afternoon. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decision. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live stream recorded and will be part of the public record. I'll ask our secretary to swear in the assessor and Mr. Navarro, or affirm them, either one.
Of course.
Swear. Please state your name.
Matthew Russell Harlan.
Do you swear that the evidence you present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You affirm, right?
Sorry.
Please state your name.
Marcelo Navarro.
You affirm that the evidence you're about to present
I swear.
Oh, you swear, sorry. Do you swear that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
All right, we'll go to the docket number 3, Mr. Harling. So we'll start there, and you can do your thing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The file number for this, file number is 192167. The roll number for the property is 060934665505. The owner is AB Comp Holdings Limited. And the 2020 assessed value based on the reference date of April 1st, 2018 is $58,000. The property type is a vacant industrial. The property is zoned M1 manufacturing light. And the land area is 15,971 square feet. Page 2 of my brief just shows the parcel of the subject property. The one in red is the one for this particular property. Before I go into more detail, I just want to kind of give a little bit of information about this property. Previously, this had been a city-owned property. So both of these parcels had been, like if you see the red one and the orange one, they had been assessed as one. It was a city-owned property and it was one parcel. This parcel was broken up into two due to the fact of both of these pieces. This parcel fell in two different school divisions. So in order to tax it, we had to split it that way. So I have actually some folders of just the school division breaks that line down if you'd like to see, I guess, or that's not my brief, unfortunately, sorry, I forgot to put it in there, but I have if you'd just like to see what it looks like, I guess.
I think it's probably fine,
okay.
Your descriptions.
Okay, that's fine, I just want to give it just a little bit of information
Yep.
about that. So so that's just going to be for the subject there. Page 3 of my brief just shows the zoning, again, just the outline of the parcel. Just gives a little description of the zoning. It's an M1 manufacturing light, and just the description of manufacturing light property. Page 4 of my brief, just the valuation summary. Again, this is just for land, so we have assessed value of $58,000. I don't have, unfortunately I forgot to write this in this particular, on my brief here, but there was a sale, again, as I mentioned before, on June 1st, 2017, for $72,000, so that was the sale price for that parcel at the time.
June 1st, 2017?
That's correct.
Now what was the value?
And the amount?
$72,000.
72?
Yes.
Thank you.
Page 5 of my brief, it's just some of my land sale comparables. And you see here the subject and the comparables here. My comparables range from size in 18,223 square feet to 89,994 square feet. You see the zoning, there's the range from M1 manufacturing to heavy. If you look at the land influences compared to the subject, you'll see some have heavy line, heavy traffic, rail line, some with no sewer, no water. If you look at the sales prices, they range from $3.16 a square foot all the way up to $10.98 a square foot, as well as you can see the dates of when the sales occurred, as well as the actual sworn value of the sale. And it's below we just had the land valuation that we used a model rate of $3.60 per square foot to come with our assessed value of $58,000. Page 6 of my brief just shows some images of the comparables I had used. So page 6 shows comparable 1 and 2, and page 7 just shows my comparables 3 and 4. Page 8 of my brief is just the classification and liability allocation to show its taxable land and the assessed value of $58,000. And page 9 and 10 of my brief is just some information about the Municipal Assessment Act of Service. And that's my presentation. I asked the board to value $58,000. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Navarro, questions of the assessor?
Yes. Now, you had mentioned that this property sold for $72,000 in 2017, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Now, this parcel is 15,971 square feet. The sale of that property included 35,937 square feet. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. I'll just move to comparable 3. I've noticed that you've used this comparable in a few of your properties, and this is the most recent sale in 2017, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Now, there is a property to the north of this. Are
Yes,
you aware of the ownership for that property?
Not something that I'm not aware of.
Those are my questions, but I would like to introduce something in as evidence.
Is this a rebuttal?
I guess you could call it a rebuttal. I haven't made copies of this. I actually did this just about 15 minutes ago.
Is that what included your walk?
Yes, that included my walk over there.
Okay. Is it new evidence or is it rebutting? What is it?
It's rebutting the sale that's in the assessor's list. So it's the one that we just spoke about.
Okay,
That would be sale number 3, comparable
Okay.
number 3.
okay. But you only have the one copy?
I only have the one copy. I've made more copies of the picture. I have 6 copies of the picture.
Will that suffice?
But the written evidence is only on the one.
Okay, but you can do that.
I can.
Why don't you do it verbally then?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay.
Just so you have an idea of
Yeah.
where the property, what I'm talking
Okay.
about here.
Okay. All right, we'll take that as a verbal
But I didn't take
rebuttal.
one.
Oh, all right, you need one too.
I'm just
There you
being
go.
so polite that I didn't take one for myself.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, In looking at these two parcels, I recognized the property. So I was able to deduce that there was common ownership. So I walked over to the city assessment department. The property just to the north of the subject.
Okay, which way is north here?
So this is the property that we're talking about, the
Okay.
comparable 3. The property right beside to the north of it is this one right here.
Okay.
It's kind of got a, I wouldn't say, I don't know what type of
Okay.
shape that is, but that property is owned by 5736-138 Manitoba Limited. And the property that was purchased, which is the comparable number 3, is also owned by 5736-138 Manitoba Limited. My point here is obviously, this is a trucking facility of some type. They need extra parking. They have to purchase it. They had that opportunity to purchase it. They were motivated to purchase it. And so that is my belief, and my understanding of the property, of why they paid slightly more than they.
Okay, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, yeah. Okay, good to know, I didn't know that, thank you.
Mr. Navarro, anything further?
That's it.
Okay. Ms. Stevens, questions?
So in your response to one of the questions, I believe you said that the sale, the $72,000 sale was not just for this piece?
No, it was for the, I'll show my picture here, you can see the other, like where the run, this is the one, the comparable, or the subject is in the one in red,
Yes.
and the one above the orange, it used to be as one parcel, but
So
again,
that was the entire parcel
Yes.
sold for 72, not just this
just
one
not
we're
this portion,
looking at
yes,
right now?
yes, that's
Okay.
correct, and again, yeah, unfortunately, that was because of the school,
So is the
sold,
next parcel coming up?
pretty much, yeah, so
Okay.
it's.
Oh, okay,
it's-
all right.
That's what I'm saying, it's basically, there's not much difference to it, so I don't know how much you want me to go through it, I guess, so, but,
No.
yeah, cause I was, that's what my point was, cause I thought it's,
Okay,
yeah.
and some of your comps that you provided, then maybe you're using them for all of the properties, but.
Yeah, there's a lot of similar
Yeah,
concepts.
because they're not really analogous to this, I don't think. This is very oddly shaped and,
Yes.
yes, oddly located. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, it's
Which
a-
is hence the 360?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's all I have, thanks.
Mr. Whitbread?
Nope, my question was asked.
Okay, I think that we can probably proceed, but in essence, probably the next property is the difference in the square footage? 20,000?
Yes,
20,000?
about 20, yeah,
Okay.
what is it?
19.
19,000.
Okay, 19,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. So I'm just trying to equate to the total according to what you have at 35,000. Okay. Mr. Navarro, the floor is yours.
Okay, if you turn to page 3 of my presentation, you'll see 2 site maps there. One is an overhead of the property. It's a long, irregular shaped property. In the map below, you can see the city's description of it. And you'll note that at the front, near Bournay Drive, that is section C. In the middle, you'll see section B, and to the far right, you'll see section C. So this is parcel A, B, and C. Now the property is located north of Dougal Road and east of Lagimodi Boulevard. The surrounding lands are predominantly industrial. There is a railway quarter that separates the area from a residential area to the north. Subject parcel is 15,971 square feet. If you turn to page 6 of this brief and go to the direct sales comparison approach to value, that's what we do. No, we haven't used that. We've actually just used the sale in this case. So part of the problem with this property is that it can't really be built on. So it has very little in terms of development potential, can be used as storage, and that is essentially what it's being used for. The property sold again in 2017 for $72,000. The area was 35,937 square feet, or $2 per square foot. That's what we've applied. We're suggesting a value of 31,900 per square feet, and that's our suggestion. I'm open for questions.
Thank you. Questions of the applicant?
I actually believe I have a question this time.
Okay, Ms. Stevens?
So this is, you said it is being used for storage?
Yeah, that's about it, all it can be used for.
Do you know what they're
Can be-
storing there,
So they have stock that they just plonk on there. As I mentioned, I did some further looking into this in terms of what can be done with this parcel. Nothing can be done with this parcel.
Is the owner own any of the adjacent properties?
So directly to the north, you'll
Yep.
see a larger parcel.
Yep,
That is theirs also.
okay, all right. Okay, that's all I had.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Wickred?
Do you know what the frontage, if you could call it that, on that property is? How wide is it?
I'll check to see, maybe the assessor has this. Yeah, I would say it's, you know what, I can't even guess.
Of course, I don't, yeah, I didn't.
It's small.
put that in there. Yeah, it is quite small, and of course, I don't have the exact frontage, so I'm sorry.
I mean, it's wider than the street in front of it by about double, so you don't know that we're talking 40 feet, 50 feet, 20 feet? Because that goes to its...
So the actual street itself is, I mean, where the concrete lies is X, but however, the entire right-of-way for the street is substantially larger than that. So if you see the map on page 3,
Yeah,
the overhead map, you can see the blue lines. So the blue lines, you'll see the yellow running through the middle of the, that is the street.
yeah.
But the actual right-of-way is the two blue lines. Now, how wide these things are, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Because that goes to the use, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Or its potential use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's essentially what used to be a right-of-way. They were gonna apparently build a road here at one point.
I see, yeah. Okay, thank you for the question.
Submission, either party?
No.
I'm not going to thank you.
All right, let's go to item number 4, which is the same property but the other strip. So it's basically the same, but you can read it into the record?
Yeah, I just thought. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The file number is 192173. The roll number is 060934 66510. The owner is AB Farm Holdings. The 2026 value for the base number exceeded for 2018 is $70,000. Property is a vacant industrial. This particular property is owned as an M2 manufacturing general at the land area of 19,966 square feet. Page 2 of my brief, you just see the, again, the photo, image of the particular parcel in red. Page 3 of my brief, you'll just see the zoning, it's N2 manufacturing general, and just the description of the zoning. Page 4 of my brief, the valuation summary, the land value $70,000. Again, there was the sale, as I mentioned before, as that whole parcel together at June 1st, 2017 for $72,000. In page 5 of my brief, just the comparables I used, I believe these are actually very similar to purpose matter brief. I'll just go very briefly into it. My land areas range from 18,220 square feet to 89,094 square feet. Zonings for M1 to M3 manufacturing, the land influences, the water, sewer, to medium traffic and heavy traffic. The overall rate and our model rate that was used for this property is $3,000 per square foot, which gives us our $70,000 land value. So that's just an example of my comparables. Page 6 of my brief just show again the photos of my comparables. Comparable 1, 2 on page 6. Comparables 3 are on page 3 and 4 on page 7. Page 8 of my brief is just the classification liability, showing it's taxable and the land value of $70,000. And page 9 and 10 of my brief, just getting the municipal assessment act reserves. That's my presentation. Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Navarro, questions?
I have no questions, I have the same
Okay.
questions.
Yeah.
Ms. Stevens?
No questions?
Mr. Wick?
Just one. So the value derived from here is a model value?
This is a model, yes, that's correct.
It's not based on any reality, just, well, I shouldn't say that, not fair.
Well,
The
yeah,
model is rated,
yeah.
but it's not based on anything related to the sale.
No, I don't believe so, no. That yes.
Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Navarro, the floor is yours.
Yeah, we can turn straight to page 6. So this property is slightly larger at 19,966 square feet. We've applied the same $2 rate per square foot, giving us a value of $39,932. So we're suggesting $39,900. I will make some commentary regarding the sale. So, in speaking with some of the city officials on the, I guess, land, property, PP&D, that handle sales, one of the things that they explained to me is that certain sales come with development agreements. So they underscore the sale value of certain properties when they dispose of them. The understanding is because the property, the purchaser is essentially agreeing to some type of development on that property, they're willing to forego sometimes a little bit of the price on it simply to get that property built. This is not one of those cases, as I was, as the person that I spoke to explained to me. This is simply the city trying to dispose of land. The proper property appraisals were done, so in our opinion, this is an actual market transaction.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Questions of the
I have any
applicant?
questions, sir? Good, thank you.
Council members, any questions?
Nope.
Item number 5, legal vote. Whenever you're ready.
Mr. Chairman. The file number is 192181. The roll number is 0609332990. The owner is AB Comp Holdings Limited. The 2020 value is $103,000 based on reference date of April 1st, 2018. The property is a vacant industrial property. It is zoned for M1 manufacturing light. And the area is, land area is 14,231 square feet. Page 2 of my brief, you'll just see a photo of the subject property, an aerial photo. It's like the triangle-shaped property in the orange. You can see that's the area of the parcel, and you can see where it is in relation to Dougal Road. Page 3 of my brief, and just shows the zoning of the property, as well as it's an M1 zone property, it's manufacturing light, a brief description, as well as the outline of the parcel. Page 4 of the property, or brief, shows the land value, $103,000. There are no recent sales on this subject property. Page 5 of my brief is just a list of my comparables for this property. You'll see in the furthest left-hand corner the information about my subject. Again, we have 14,231 square feet of land area. We are using a model rate of $7.22 a square foot, which gives us an overall value of $103,000. My comparables range in the size of 14,322 square feet up to 20,238 square feet. You can see the land influences that each of these comparables has. Below it, you see the sale details when the property sold and the sale prices of the property. And my sale price per square foot range from $10.47 to $11.74. So that's less of my comparables. Page 6 of my brief, which again just shows some comparables. On my one comparables there too, my first comparables there, I just showed just 2 photos just to show this property does, the first comparable does have a building on it now, but at the time the reference date didn't, it was vacant land, so I just wanted to show that. Page 7 of my brief just shows the photo of the comparable 2 as well as comparable 3. Page 8 of my brief just shows the classification liability application, square footage and the current assessed value of the land of $150,000. And page 9 and 10, again, the municipal assessment act and service. That's my presentation. I ask for the value of $103,000. Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Navarro?
I have no questions of the assessor, and I would ask that the board confirm this assessment.
Panel members, any questions?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Item number 6.
Okay. Proceed, or sorry, or,
Pardon?
may I proceed, sorry, or?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
yes,
sorry,
yes,
sorry.
yes, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry about
Yeah.
that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
There's no civic address, so I just.
Oh, yeah,
I
you just understand there, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
The file number is 192187. The roll number is 0609332980. The owner is AD Comp Holdings Limited. The 2020 assessed value is $174,000, based on the reference date of April 1st, 2018. Property is a vacant industrial property and zoned for M1 manufacturing light, and the land area is 26,059 square feet. Page 2 of my brief, you'll just see an outline of the parcel in red, just to show the area that we have this, where the square footage of this parcel is. Page 3 of my brief, again, you'll see the parcel area as well as the zoning. Again, it's M1 for manufacturing lights, and just a brief description of manufacturing light property. Page 4 of my brief, just a valuation summary. Again, total value of $174,000. There were no recent sales I found on the subject property. Page 5 of my brief is just a list of my land sale comparables. For the subject property, again, you're using a land area of 26,059 square feet, and we're using a model rate at $6.69 a square foot to give us the overall land value of $174,000. My comparables range from sizes from 14,323 to 20,238 square feet. You'll see the land influences traffic, commercial adjacent, heavy traffic and rail lines. The sale price per square foot, so my comparables range from $10.47 a square foot to $11.74 a square foot. And this is my comparables. Again, page 6 is just some photos. It's very similar to the previous property. Page 6 and 7. Page 8 is just some classification liability allocation and the correct assessed value of $177,000. And page 9 and 10 are just the municipal assessment reserves. And that is the presentation. Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Navarro?
I have no questions of the assessor, and I would ask that the board confirm this assessment.
Okay. Panel members, any questions?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
We'll go on to the next property. Number 6, no, that was number 6, right?
Yeah, this is number 7.
Number 7?
That's correct.
Okay,
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
Feel free to go
Okay.
where you are.
Yeah,
I know.
We don't have addresses to some of those, so it's kind of hard to.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The file number is 19-2181. The roll number is 0910421100. The owner is AD Comp Holdings Limited. The 2020 assessed value is $369,000. It's on the reference date of April 1st, 2018. The property type is a vacant industrial. The property zone is M1 manufacturing light, and the land area of 133,862 square feet. Page 2 of my brief, you'll just see the subject property and the parcel boundaries of the property. Page 3 of my brief, again, you'll see the zoning and the outline of the subject property, as well as the zoning type and manufacturing light and brief description. Page 4 of my brief, you'll just see the cost value summary and just that it's being assessed as land only at $369,000. There are no recent sales on this property. Page 5 of my brief, you'll see a list of my land sale comparables. The subject property again is at 133,862 square feet, and we're using a model rate of $2.76 a square foot to give us an overall land value of $369,000. My comparables range in size from 62,949 square feet to 371,080 square feet, 83 square feet. The zoning ranges from in-wood manufacturing to N3 manufacturing. My land influences, you'll see some similarities between the land influences to the subject. The comparables sale price per square foot range from $3.77 a square foot all the way to $9.13 a square foot. And that's the list of my information about my land comparables. Page 6 of my brief just shows a parcel of the comparable 1 sale. Page 7 is comparable 2. And page 8 is comparables 3 and 4. Page 9 again is just the classification and land allocation and the current assessed value of $369,000. And page 10 and 11 of my brief are just the municipal assessment tax excerpts information. That is my presentation, and thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Navarro?
I have no questions of the assessor, and I'd ask the board to confirm this.
Okay. Now members, any questions?
No.
Okay. We don't have an address, but we got our Dugald Road.
Number-
I think the number is
8.
21,200.
21.
Yeah, last
3?
digit.
Oh, yes, 200, yes, with the
Yeah,
roll
okay.
number. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The file number is 192183. The roll number is 0901042120. The owner is AD Comp Holdings Limited. The 2020 assessed value is $361,000 based on the reference date of April 1st, 2018. Property type is a vacant industrial property, which is owned as M1 Manufacturing Light, and the land area is 130,562 square feet. Page 2 of my brief, you'll see again just the parcel outline of the subject property in relation to the property. Page 3 of my brief, again you'll see the zoning parcel outline. The zone is M1 Manufacturing Light, and a brief description of that is below. Page 4 of my brief is just the valuation summary. At land value at 300.
That doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, it's, threw me off actually a little bit, so. Yeah, continue.
Go ahead.
Somebody will call.
Well,
Somebody will
there's
call
no
us.
more shootings.
Yeah.
Continue on.
Sure,
Thank you very
what's
much, Mr.
happening.
Chairman.
Probably the door.
Again, the land value at $361,000 for the valuation summary. There are no recent sales on this subject property, or this property, sorry. Page 5 of my brief is just the land sale comparables. The subject property again is at 130,562 square feet, and we're using a model rate of $2.77 a square foot to get the land value at $361,000. My comparables range from sizes of 60,949 square feet to 371,000 square feet, 371,083 square feet. The sale price per square foot of my comparables range from $3.77 a square foot to $9.13 a square foot. I guess the list of my comparables. And page 6, just a comparable 1, a photo of it. Page 7 is comparable 2, and page 8 is comparables 3 and 4. Page 9 again, just the classification liability allocation and the current assessed value of $361,000. And page 10 and 11 are just the municipal assessment tax and excerpt information. That's my presentation, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hurling. Mr. Navarro?
I have no questions of the assessor, and I'd ask the board to confirm this.
Panel members, any questions?
No, thank you.
The last 5 digits, 45,100.
Oh, yes, okay, perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The file number is 19-03078. The roll number is 12060645100. Oh wait, I'm sorry, just want to make sure. The owner is the Italian-Canadian League of Manitoba Incorporated. The 2020 assessed value is $233,000 based on the reference date of April 1st, 2018. The property type is a vacant industrial property and is zoned for M2 manufacturing general.
Okay, Mr. Hurling, that's good enough.
Oh, sure, okay.
Okay.
The land area is 98,869 square feet.
Okay. Mr. Navarro, any questions?
Yes.
I believe, this is not, I think this is a different,
This is a different one?
this is a different
Okay.
property entirely, yes.
Yeah.
Continue on then.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, I'll just start back here. The land area again is 98,869 square feet. Page 2 of my brief, you'll just see again the parcel outline of the subject property in relation to, and in red here, so you'll just see how it's portioned out. Page 3 of my brief, again, you'll see the zoning and again, the outline of the subject parcel. It is the zone is M2, manufacturing general, and below is just a brief description of the M2 proper zoning type. Page 4 of my brief, just the valuation summary, land value of $233,000. There are no recent sales on the subject property. Page 5 of my brief, you'll just see a list of my land sale comparables. The subject property, again, we're using a 98,869 square feet of area, and we're using a model rate of $2.36 a square foot to give us an overall land value of $233,000 square feet. $233,000, sorry. My land sale comparables range from 22,240 square feet to 157,621 square feet. They range from zoning of M1 to M2 manufacturing. You'll see below some of the land influences for the comparables. The sale price per square foot for the comparables range from $7.02 a square foot up to $11.42 a square foot. And that is some list of my subject comparables. Page 6 of my brief just shows some photos of comparable sale 1 and 2. And page 7 shows my comparable sale 3, photo of it. Page 8 of my brief is just the classification liability allocation and the current value of $233,000. And page 9 and 10 of my brief are just the municipal assessment acts reserves. That's my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Navarro?
Yes. There are no sales for this property in your history?
That, no recent ones that I could find, so.
Okay. And the property shares, the property is owned by the property directly adjacent to it, correct?
That is correct, yes, that is correct, yes.
May I ask why the city has not considered actually consolidating these two roles?
At this time, I actually do not have that answer, actually, so.
Okay. Is there any possible way of, there's no access to this, as we can see. Can you build anything on this in terms of, if you were to sell it, you would need access, I assume, so.
That is correct, I guess.
Okay, so, do you know what it's currently used for?
At this point, I believe it's just vacant. I did do some research into previous what he used for. At one point, there was a tennis court and a soccer field on this land. Again, it's not there currently, so at this time,
Yeah.
I believe it's just vacant, yeah, so.
Yeah. Now, moving on to your sales comparables there. Your comparable one, I can see fronts Hamel Avenue, so I assume it could be developed into something.
This could, yes, it does have better access.
And the price reflects that.
Hmm?
Now, the second one also seems to front a street, so it seems to have access. It's in a similar location as the subject?
That is correct,
Okay.
yes.
But again, the difference being here is that it actually has access.
Yes.
And it could be developed, although because of that railway influence. The third one, we've already
Yeah, we
talked
discussed
about.
that one, yes.
Okay.
It's a lot smaller, so.
Now, this is a model-generated value.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And it certainly bears no relationship to the comparables that you presented here. So can you speak to how the model has adjusted this value and come up with a value of $2.36?
In terms of like how we came up with this $2.36 for the land value?
Yeah.
I don't have to come up with our sale price per square, we do use land sale comparables to come up with our model rent. I don't know how the specific one, this $2.36 came up with, I don't have the exact information of how this exact one came. So.
Okay. I guess my last question would pertain to a small issue, and that is the land area itself. Now, you have 2.26 acres here, giving a square footage of $98,869. Can you confirm whether this is just a rounding issue?
I believe it is, yes, yes, I believe it is, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Cynthia.
Can you tell me where this is? I can't tell by looking at it.
Yeah, sorry, sure, but this is just off of,
Welks.
yeah, well, that's correct, yes.
East, okay, on the account.
Yeah, his is a little bit better, I
Sorry.
zoomed in a bit, sorry, yeah.
So east, just look at east or west of Kenaston.
East.
Okay. And there is no, it is, so is it landlocked then?
It is, yes, it is landlocked,
Okay.
yes, yes.
And when the comps range from $7 to $11.42, would this have been manually adjusted then, or you're not sure this rate?
This one, I don't believe it was manually adjusted, that I could, when I was looking at the curves, I don't believe it was.
Does the model take into account landlocked?
Yes, we would, yes, well, I believe, actually, no, we don't. I believe in our, I don't have it listed here, but I believe it's one of the influences we would consider. I don't, but I unfortunately I don't have the exact information this morning,
Okay, that's all I had, thanks.
Mr. Whiteford?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Actually, may I direct a question to the assessor?
Sure.
I'm just looking at the land influences in place. No sewer, no water, rail, line, only park. So it has no landlock there. Can we assume that it actually has been adjusted for this?
I honestly, I don't know at this time, so I can't speak exactly, so.
Mr. Navarro, I apologize, I cut you off. I was
No.
a little out of order, I didn't see a brief, so I thought, but there's no brief for the last one. Anyways, the floor is yours.
I'll make this very simple. On page 3, you can see an overhead of this. You can see that it is, you can't see it here, but it is east of Kenaston. The property directly adjacent to it is the Italian Center of Winnipeg, I believe.
I believe it's the Italian, yeah.
Kubota Center, I think that's what it's called.
To the south there?
Yeah, yeah.
2.3 acres again into general manufacturing. Not a lot you can do with this property, given that it has access issues, amongst some others. Again, we struggled to put a value on this simply because we thought it should just be part of the same parcel as the one beside it. We've seen instances where the city has done this, without anyone telling them to, I guess because it made logical sense. We're not sure why it doesn't make logical sense here. We recommended a value of $2 per square foot. And again, we struggle to find any value in this property because we think it's just part of the same property adjacent to it. The sales don't even back up the value because again, this is a particular situation where there's not really anything that the sales can say about this property. So it's just a matter of adjusting for this, adjusting for that, and coming up with a value. Our value is $2 per square foot. That's my presentation.
Thank you. Questions of the applicant?
No, I
Cynthia?
Are you aware if this was this ever portioned off as excess land, or
Well, in order for it to be excess land, it would have to have
be on the
some-
same roll, right?
No, it can be excess land on the same roll, or it can be surplus land. The difference between excess and surplus is that generally, surplus can't be accessed in any way,
That's correct.
whereas excess land can be
Can be,
accessed, so it could
yeah.
be slivered off and subdivided.
So this would be considered surplus?
This would be considered surplus, and.
And it's the same owner as the Kubota?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and our opinion, I don't know what value to really put on it. Generally, we would say that it's part of the same property, it really has no value. The value is in the building itself.
Okay, that's all I had, thank you.
Thank you. Richard, any questions?
Thank you. None.
Submission to either party?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. We'll go to the next one, which is item number 10. And the last 5 digits are 31,800.
Thank you,
So
Mr. Chair.
whenever you're ready.
The file number is 19-1878. The roll number is 1209-763-1800. The owner is the City of Winnipeg Via Rail Canada Incorporated, which is it's a city lease. The 2020 assessed value is $542,000 based on the reference date of April 1st, 2018. The property type is a vacant industrial. It is zoned M2 manufacturing general, and the land area is 154,691 square feet. Page 2 of my brief is just a picture of the parcel outline. It's kind of, yeah, you'll see above in the red is where it is, and page 2 is just kind of a blown up area of the actual area that it is. Page 3 of my brief, you'll just see some zoning information, and you'll see the outline of the parcel. It is zoned as, again, M2, and you'll see the total land value is at $550,000 based on the valuation summary. And there are no subject, there's no sale history on this subject property. Page 4 of my brief, you'll just see the subject property. The land area, 154,691 square feet. We are using a model rate of $3.50 a square foot. Gives an overall value again of $542,000. Comparables range in size of 64,210 square feet to 523,314 square feet. The zoning this goes from M1 to M2 manufacturing, as well as rural residential. My land, you can see land clearances, rail line, heavy traffic, and medium traffic. The sale price per square foot range for my comparables from $2.21 a square foot to $7.40 a square foot. And that's just a list of my land sale comparables. And on page 5 of my brief, you'll just see some parcel outlines and photos of the aerial view photos of the subject property and where they're situated on page 5 and page 6. Page 7 of my brief just shows the classification liability allocation and the correct land and building summary, just land summary, sorry, $514,000. And page 8 and 9 are just the municipal assessment aggregate reserves information. That's our presentation.
Thank you. Mr. Navarro?
No questions of the assessor, and I ask the board to confirm this.
I thank you. Any questions, panel members?
No, thank you.
No. I think that concludes our hearing. So, Mr. Navarro, thank you for your presentations and results very soon. And Mr. Harling, I think, thank you very kindly.
Thank you very much.